Hey, everybody. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. It's Mark Yagi. Welcome back to another Market Pulse. Today is the 28th of November, last trading day of the month, I guess. Yeah. And we got a new month starting here on Monday, it looks like. So, anyway, hope you had a great Thanksgiving and we are rocking and rolling. We are barreling into another green market right now. And we've been kind of in this consolidation where the market's gone red, green, yellow for the last, I don't know, 6, 7 weeks. And this could be another data point in that same kind of thing going on. So let's take a look at what I'm looking at so you can pick up what I'm putting down. How about that for a bunch of slang that I threw at you? Um, Here we go. So let's see. Now you're seeing that screen. Let me see if I can see my screen. Okay, good. So here's what we had last week. There's a lot of and a bunch of negative stuff there. So we were kind of red toward the end of last week, but right after last week, we rebounded. So here's what we're looking at now. We got 4 green lights. We're at the end of a yellow market, and we are toward, trying to bounce up and hit some recent highs, not the all-time highs, but at least the recent highs. So let's take a look. Here's the QQQ. They're all going to look the same. So, get used to this look. So we had a bounce down through the 50-day moving average, and finally, after a week of being under the 50, we saved it. So good things happen above the 50, bad things happen below the 50, but fortunately, it didn't stay down there too long. We got a rebound, and a lot of it has to do with us going into this Fed meeting. So we've had some unemployment disappointments. We've had a couple of maybe one unemployment, positive. So I think that leans in the favor of the Fed going, well, we've got some tough things in the job market coming. Okay. Then we've got some slightly inflationary pressures, but it's within the range of what the Fed tells us that inflation really is. And I don't believe a word they say, but they have to there's a problem in the banking system. I don't know if you've seen the video that I just put out, but there's a problem in the banking system. And the Fed is in trouble, and the Fed is running at a deficit, and there's some reverse repo action that's negative for the Fed, and they're in a tough financial position. So what the Fed is going to have to do is, if they don't lower rates, they're effectively raising rates on their refinancing of the treasuries, and that's not going to be good. So all this is to say that I think there's about an 86% chance from last I checked of a lowering of the interest rate by a quarter of a point. Okay, that would be the third one in a row. I don't know if they're going to do it or not. I don't predict these things, but that's what the markets are predicting, and that's probably why you're seeing some of these bounces. Let's go back to the chart. Now here, we got the S&P 500. Looks the same, right? We had a nice little rebound and gap away, slight gap away 2 days ago. Now we're following through on that gap. It's a quiet day today. We're not going to be able to get any reading off of a half a day of trading, but we'd rather have it be above the 50 than below if you're bullish. And then finally, we can look at the Dow. The Dow is doing the same thing. The New York looks the same, but the New York's almost at an all-time high. So that's a very broad index. And that's telling us that that's right near an all-time high for the market. Like one more day, we're back up to the all-time highs. Yummy, right? All right. This is the VIX, and you can see the VIX is really spiking down, back down to the 1681 level, and that's below the 50-day moving average. That's good. Okay, it's the opposite of what you would normally think. And here's why. So Apple is in a breakout. So Apple broke out at this 250, this 260 level roughly, and now it's just breaking out a bit from that. It's kind of given us a chance for the last 3 or 4 weeks to get in it. So if you haven't gotten in it, maybe you missed it. I'm not sure. That's up to you. The Nvidia is on a short-term downtrend. You could see that chart not looking that yummy. I mean, overall, it's looking great, but it's taken a break, and it's under the 50-day moving average. So I want to buy Nvidia, but for me, I can't buy it until I start seeing it above the 50, or at least getting near the 50 with some good volume. Tesla is kind of in a consolidation, doesn't know which way it wants to go because there's no news on Tesla. Like, it's not that exciting. But you know what? Give it a chance, right? Because Tesla always has some kind of news coming. It's just nobody is foreseeing any news right now. The MicroStrategy, which a lot of people have been in for a long time, obviously hit 543 down to a low of about 169 or something like that. Let's see what that is. Actually, I can't tell from here. But anyway, it might actually have 2 days in a row. We haven't had 2 days in a row for almost 2 months of up action in strategy. So we'll see what happens by the end of the day. But right now it's up $8. So that's good. AppLovin also trading under its 50, and it needs some help to get over the 50, but it's not too far away. Trying to make a shot at that 675. We'll see if it gets there. If it gets there, it needs to do some decent volume because this volume has all been pretty low. So we'd like to see an easy volume takeout of that 675 level, and that puts the 745 back into play. We'll see. The iShares Bitcoin Trust, IBIT, it is doing what IBIT is doing, and that is following Bitcoin. So it's down below the 50. Yes, it's gapped up today, but there's not a lot of good stuff going on with this until we get Bitcoin, probably back up over 100, 105,000. I don't know when that'll happen. Could happen like right as I'm talking, could happen, 5 months from now. May never happen. I don't know what'll happen. I think it will, but Palantir, I've been talking about this for, 3-4 months now, but saying, look, don't buy this because it's a late stage base, a stage 5 base, very hard to make money on a stage 5 base because there's a lot of sellers up in this area. And you can see this short-term action is showing us on Palantir that there's been a lot of sellers and it can't get above the 50-day moving average. It's now in its third week of being below the 50. That's rough, right? And some of these days are pretty high volume. So we'll see how that goes. Broadcom is breaking out. It's had beautiful 3 days of good action in this market, which is a Thanksgiving market. Good for Broadcom. Taiwan Semiconductor is, made a bottom and it's now back above the 50. So you may want to put that on your watch list and keep an eye on it because it's trying to make a case to go up to that 311.37 level, in which case it may do a little bit of a later stage breakout. We'll see. Microsoft, it bounced perfectly. This is amazing, right? Bounced perfectly off the 200-day moving average, gapped up yesterday or Wednesday's trading, and now it's trying to head back up to that 50-day moving average. The relative strength has kind of gone down a bit, but Microsoft is, just trying to break out of this little consolidation area here, and it's had a couple of failures. But the 200-day bounce is really good. You know what? I think I'll leave it there. There's a lot more that I could do, but you have a Thanksgiving weekend to enjoy, so you don't want to keep hearing yapping about money. But hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving and you spent some time with your family, had some good laughs and some stories, and hope you continue that this weekend as maybe you continue to spend time with the people you love. Good to see you. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week on the Market Pulse. Take care. Bye. So I need to put up a legal disclosure here. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for educational purposes only. And this is entertainment, and it's not financial advice. Always do your own research before making financial decisions, and please be careful.